Yes. Come on. Put this next to your wallet. Get it set up a little.
My dad
I know you want a Bush one? Reagan.
For the club.
Okay, good. Okay, good. You know what you get, yeah. How are you?
Take a nice picture.
All right, ready? Say, Donovan, May 5th.
Then make that.
Election.
Picture
Okay, a meeting or whatever.
We have some buttons for you.
Thank you very much.
Two versions of that.
Beautiful.
If you wouldn't mind,
Okay.
sign our Brooklyn Young Republican picture.
Okay.
You guys got it all going on.
Michael Faulkner, who I know is Staten Island for you, so we ran over there. No, he was a guest speaker at our last meeting.
And I'd like to come to one of your meetings
definitely.
to speak when we get through May 5th with your help. Joe Loda.
Joe Loda, we have Congressman Chris Gibson,
Chris Gibson.
and he was a guest speaker. We have Mark.
Derek Jeter.
Yeah, we're.
If Derek Jeter was on there, he wasn't letting me sign at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you sign on the sweet spot. You're gonna be
Thank
our
you
new
so much.
congressman.
Okay, we got TD Bank.
Yeah, well.
Thank you. Everybody takes them all the time, there's like number.
I know.
Really? Before they burst?
Now, what do you think is a good omen? For today's date or May 5th?
May 5th.
Yeah, but look at this. It looks like 51, 51, 15.
Wow,
Thank you so
you
much.
really go, you have a nice time machine.
Thank you very, very much. Who haven't I gotten a chance to say hello to you? Thank you, love, so very much. 7 years ago? I don't remember what I ate for lunch yesterday.
Oh, I saw the Oh, I know. No, I already
Thank you so much. Thank you for your help. Here you go. I do.
Yes, every year I go to my chocolates.
Yes. Yeah, I not only remember it, I now wear
Now you
it.
remember, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, love. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it very much. We only have 9 days left. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much.
We'll make it.
But with your help, I will.
I see it.
Okay. I hope you're right. Come and have some pizza.
$1,000.
Okay. That's what we can do.
So Glenn and I are this
And also, on behalf of the Brooklyn Young Republican Club and the Board of Directors, we voted to release from our Political Action Committee $500 for your campaign.
Yeah.
So we hope we can use that for your, we can get out the vote effort on not Monday, that's for Monday the week after for Jim Teal, of course. He tell the voters to come out May, whatever that is.
We're telling May 8th.
May 8th is good?
May
Okay,
8th.
so, and, so hopefully on Tuesday, May 5th, we get people out there. And we appreciate, we appreciate
Thank you,
everything
you
you
do.
do, and we want to make sure we have you in Congress, so.
With your help,
Thank
we
you.
will.
Thank you so much. And, make sure it's,
Wait, you want behind,
Yeah.
by the maps maybe, and by the signs?
kind of lighting.
And then I'd like to say a few words, if you guys don't mind, and eat one piece of pizza before we go. They told me to eat whenever you get a chance. I'm eating every chance I got.
Sometimes get bored. That's for my 2008.
Would I rope it? One over here.
Yes, right here. And all will go around.
Jacob, you get me a good one.
That's fine, there.
And why don't we get everybody in?
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah.
Guys, come in. Jess will take the photos. Just hand their cameras. That's how actually we get most of our
Raymond's
cameras.
been working very hard for you. Right now. He's a member of our board of directors.
I tried to get him to eat something, but he served breakfast. He said, I gotta go to work. I said, I love this guy. Come on in here, guys. Come on.
Come on in, everybody line up.
Figure out.
This is Kathy Fox. I'm also a district leader in the 44th.
Most guys can't vote for me, but it's helping.
Right.
Come. Yeah, well, Jess will tell us where, if she's got everybody in here and.
Everybody in, look over here once, ready, 1, 2, 3, May 5th. May 1. Mark next.
All right, everyone in?
Yep.
1.
Mark? Okay. Jess?
Okay, ready, 1, 2, 3.
That's not, we don't have TV screen.
That's my TV screen.
All right, guys, one more, ready, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
You're always telling me the same thing the other day.
What size it is?
It doubles as a weapon. Is it legal? Is it street legal, sir?
I'm not too sure.
When is that?
Yeah, that's what I say, you watch movies.
Can you come to Staten Island, or do you want to meet us in Brooklyn? Okay.
Okay, everyone, everyone gather around. Dan wants to say a couple words.
Say a couple words, answer some questions you guys might have about the campaign, about anything else.
Okay.
Here's
Everyone, Dan's going to speak. If anyone has, he's going to say a couple words, and if you have any questions about anything. Okay.
God, first of all, I am incredibly grateful for what you're doing for me. It is the most gorgeous day outside, and you guys are in here to help me win this election. And why? I mean, you have other things in your lives to do. It's like so many people, they just want their government to work better for them. People have asked me why I'm doing this. And there's so many of you who heard me say before, I have an 88-year-old mom with dementia who 70 years ago entered the workforce. Our government shook her hand and said, you contribute to Social Security, you contribute to Medicare. Those benefits are going to be there when you need them. And there are people in Washington who are trying to break that commitment to my mother, break that commitment to your families. The other thing is that, as you know, I'm having a baby next month. The election's May 5th. The baby's due May 24th, believe it or not. And the biggest fear in my heart happened the other day. I was speaking to a woman telling her about the baby's coming. It's actually 4 weeks from today. And the woman said to me, oh, I was 6 weeks early. I never thought that. Never in my life thought that the baby could possibly come early. I don't have time right now. But if it does, it is a blessing. And my mom and dad, who worked very hard their entire lives. My dad didn't graduate high school. My mom just graduated high school, and they both went to work. My mother worked in a factory that made band and school uniforms, and my dad was a longshoreman. I remember growing up, I was 17 years old before I got my own bedroom. First 17 years of my life, our living room became my bedroom at night. And our rent was $75 a month, believe it or not, back then. And Daniel and Catherine Donovan, my mother and father's only child, Daniel, got into a Catholic high school. And it was $35 a month tuition, and they didn't know how they were going to pay it. And they saved and they sacrificed so I could have a better life than they had, more opportunities. I want to provide that for my child, too. It's getting more and more difficult, though. But the direction our country's going, the direction our region's going, certainly the direction our city's going. Yesterday I had the great fortune of having Rudy Giuliani come to Staten Island. It's amazing the accomplishments that that man had achieved. We're seeing disappear in a short 15 to 16 months. You know, when Rudy Giuliani took back this city from 2,200 murders last year, we had 334 murders. That's still 334 people who were killed when you think about 2,200 murders. How far we've come, how businesses, how safe our streets are, how people felt comfortable opening up businesses. You find now we have a government who wants to decriminalize fare beaters. That's actually a theft of service. You're stealing from the city, but people want to decriminalize that. There's a proposal to have a fund in the city budget for people who can't afford bail, that your tax dollars be used to bail someone out of jail. If they don't come back when it's their own money, do you think they're going to come back when it's yours? And I always think about that poor business owner, that delicatessen owner, or that woman who has a bagel store and was a victim of a robbery, and her thinking that my tax dollars is going to bail out the guy that just robbed me. So things have to change back to the better. And we have a wonderful opportunity, all of us. There's 13 members of Congress that represent New York City. Right now, there's 12 Democrats and 1 vacant seat, the one I'm running for. I have the possibility of being the only Republican representing New York City in Washington at a time when the Republicans control both the House and the Senate. That's an opportunity for democratic citizens, for conservatives, for Republicans, for every one of our citizens. It's an opportunity to send me to Washington to help our city become the city it once was. So I thank you again. You know, I don't have to convince you guys. I need you to convince others. I will never get to meet the number of people I need to speak with in order to win this election. I need surrogates like you. As you're walking, as you're telling your neighbors and friends, as you're knocking on doors, as you're grabbing people, every vote's going to count. A good friend of mine, a woman that represented this district many years ago in Congress, Susan Molinari, had a very similar special election to mine when she ran for city council. And Susan won that race. It was a springtime special election. She won that race by 11 votes. And it took them 3 weeks to figure out who actually won the election. Because it was so close. They had to count all the paper ballots and everything else. And after Susan won, I remember everybody coalescing around Susan and hugging her and saying, we knew you'd pull this out, and terrific, you won this, you're going to be our council member. And I always think about the guy who lost. He knows 11 people that didn't vote for him that day. I am the district attorney. I will find you, I swear to God. But there are people, I know there are people that will tell me on May 6th, May 7th, May 8th, I didn't know the election was Tuesday. I need you to help me tell them that. If you do that, I promise you, you will be very proud of sending a Republican to Washington to represent you. So those in your district, I already have your vote. Make sure you vote though. You know how many times we're in headquarters on election night and somebody stops everybody from working and says, did everyone here vote? And you have 3 people who spent 4 hours on a phone call, making phone calls, forgot to vote themselves. Vote yourselves. Get your family and friends to do it too. They're easier to convince than it is to convince strangers. They trust you. They might not trust me. They don't know me, but they trust you. Ask them to vote for me. Take them to go vote for me. When we got pregnant and we moved from a 1-bedroom apartment that we owned to a 2-bedroom, because the baby comes with a lot of stuff. When I gave the keys to my tenant who rented my apartment, I gave them 2 voter registration forms. That's how important 2 votes are to me. I have a good friend of mine who was counsel to Rudy Giuliani, Larry Levy, whose mom and dad are 93 years old, live on Staten Island. He's driving, his wife is driving from Long Island to Staten Island to drive his mom and dad to the polls that day. That's how important 2 votes are for me. So when you're tired, and you're going to get tired, I'm exhausted. But we keep doing it because we only have 9 days left. We started with 90, we're down to 9. When I think about it, it's a week from Tuesday. We don't have much time, but there's enough time to win. So thank you so much for today. After you finish eating pizza, get out there and get me votes. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody wants to take an individual picture of something, put it next to your driver's license, so in case you get pulled over. The cop will just ask you if you know the DA, and when you say yes, he said, next time you see him, tell him I just gave you this ticket. It doesn't work at all. No. You got it. Yeah, sure. Right there. Oh, got it. My buddy, I didn't get a chance to say hello to you and thank you. He's our treasurer. Okay. It's a movie screen. Tell us about it. Come on, buddy. You want to check it? Yeah. You know, on the phones, at camera, I know what to look at. The phones, I don't know what I'm looking at. One of the campaign guys.
I was going to make a little plug.
Yep.
I was going to make a little plug. If everybody can see
Anthony, on your way out, we need volunteers for May 5th for Election Day. All this means nothing if we don't pull out the vote on May 5th. So Anthony right over here, he's running our Brooklyn office. Right over there, he's waving his hand. Even if you can give a few hours on Election Day, throughout the entire day would be great. We're going to be going door to door and pulling out the vote. So again, just see Anthony on your way out. Thank you very much.
Please, everyone, make sure you sign up, volunteer any of the days you could, especially today, and especially on May 5th. We have to get out and vote effort. Thank you.
I don't know if you guys changed your bylaws. I started working for Guy Molinari when I was 39 years old, and I turned 40, and I can never be a really young Republican.
Well, I'm 40 myself, so 40 and below.
You want me to, oh, okay.
Paul, is that your camera?
No, that's not.
Oh, that's right.
Let me get one with a good camera.
Thank you.
Oh, are you gonna come? Okay, because we'll have to have you. Okay.
Yes, baby. Oh, yeah. I like you so much better than you.
You okay?
I know, I was like, get in for a hug.
Did you get a job?
No, I've been doing some temp work.
Did you get a job?
No, like a temp agency that I've worked with on and off from the
Oh, the kids.
Probably you guys need to.
You signed up for it.